Hello everyone, welcome to the shop. Got a little special project going on today. Thought I would bring everybody along and see what's happening. I am going to go through and create a semi-hollow body guitar. Started designing from the ground up, and I'm just going to bring you along this process as I turn material into a guitar. So what I've got in front of me here today are the pieces that I'm going to use to make this guitar. And pretty good sized pieces. There's actually two of them, and the approach for this guitar is going to be a kind of a clamshell, or actually a clamshell approach, where I'm going to machine this part and I'm going to machine this part, and we're going to join them together like this. Now, it's poplar, it's inexpensive wood, it's a great material that I can use to validate my design, and we're going to see what we have. This is actually going to be the second time I've machined something. I'm going to jump off here real quick and grab a piece. And this is what we're going for. This was the first piece, first attempt that I made. Overall outside shape I'm happy with, but it's the flying saucer. It's very thin. I just, sometimes what looks good on a computer screen does not turn out. So two pieces, complete wood construction, no laminate in this at all. And we're gonna be doing this, only this time it's gonna be quite a bit thicker. So what I've done so far this morning is I'm going to start with these sides down on the CNC machine, and both of them, you can see I marked them and I ran them through the drum sander. They're relatively flat. There's some low spots here, which you can see with the pencil marks, but generally it's pretty flat. As long as I'm flat here, and on the corners, when I set it down on the CNC machine, I'll be good to go. And the reason is because the first thing I'm going to do is, if it's sitting on the machine table like that, I'm going to fly cut this entire surface, and that's going to be as dead flat as the machine. That will give me a great surface when I flip it over and machine the other side. Then I'm going to be true to dimensions. So before we get running some CNC machine, I'm going to jump over to the computer and show you how I started the design process. Okay, everybody, we are back over at my computer desk here, and every guitar really starts right here. You end up having a computer model, and you can't tell a CNC machine what in the world to do unless you have one of these things. Particularly with all the complex curves and surfaces that are on the guitars that I design and produce. So yeah, you got to start here with a model, and this is the semi-hollow body design that I'm looking at, and we're getting ready to cut these on the CNC machine. But again, you start right here. So this is the top, and I'm going to kind of show him here. We're going to rotate him a little bit, and you get a really good idea what the overall shape of this guitar is going to be, where the control holes are going to be, and pickups and the F holes and everything, and just kind of get a good general feel for what this thing looks like. Top side and then the bottom side here. Now, when you look at this, you're going to say, well, what in the world? You got all this hollow spot under there, and that's just not the case. It's just the way that I ended up modeling. Let me get flip back over to the other side. So, and I could spend more time filling everything in, but everything underneath this highlighted area is going to be solid wood. Um, but again, it's just the way that I modeled, and but when I cut it on the CNC machine, it's looking straight down, so it's not going to see what's underneath the hollow area underneath this here. So you see these holes. There's that guy right there. You got that guy, and you got that guy. There's four of them. Those are actually going to be dowel pins that I can use when I clamshell this thing together. And yeah, you'll be able to kind of get a good idea. So that's the top. That's the top of the top half. Again, this is all solid wood construction, no laminate here. And here's the bottom. And again, same idea. You can see the hollow area there.
and we're going to line up on these dowel pins. That's how this thing is going to end up being aligned. And you see this bevel right here. That is to uh, hold my neck angle. I'm shooting for a 4-degree neck angle, and my tenon. When I do a set neck, this will be a set neck design, and when the tenon of the neck joins together, it's going to ride in that little bevel right there. Top of the clamshell, this is where this is going to mate to the top surface. And if you come back here to the bottom, you can get a good idea what this bottom surface here is looking like. Nice relieved area right here for hand access. So that's the bottom. So when you put everything all together, this is what this guitar is going to end up looking like. So you can really get a good idea and a feel for the surface. Quite a bit more volume than the sample that I showed you. We'll do a straight side view here and just do a quick measurement right here. That's 7.7 of an inch. This is 0.6. So 1.3 inches thick here. That's a thicker part. That's maybe pick the wrong surface there. Let me get that line. Yeah, so it's 625 there and 500. So you're getting down to 1.2 inches there. Overall thickness from this top surface up here to the bottom, so the complete volume is going to be roughly 2.5 inches. So getting a pretty good idea of what this guy is going to look like. It is a set neck design. Part 2 for this will be reviewing the neck and how I've got my neck joined. You can see a little bit there. My intent, I got that little tab right there. And actually, when I get the neck set, I'm just going to sand this smooth, so I have a nice smooth transition from this surface right here to that surface right there. I'm going to be a way that I'm going to sand that and prep it smooth. So a little more detail here where we're going to look at the neck. You can see a pretty good size tenon in there. I think it's roughly about 3 inches long, so I think that's going to be plenty of rigidity on that on where that neck attaches to the body. So starting to look like something. Next up, we are going to program this guy and get ready to run on a CNC machine. Hold tight. Next up, CNC machine.
All right, everybody, we're back at the CNC machine. We're getting ready to carve the top of the semi-hollow body. And how I go about this, right, I've got this blank here with some position holes, and I line this up, and then I counterbore these holes here, and that's what I use to actually attach to the CNC machine. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I just use some socket head screws. And this is not really a critical dimension right now. I'm just lining it up relatively close. So I start down here in this corner. We're going to get him relatively, it doesn't have to be super tight, but we get him snugged up. And then I go to this opposite corner. And the reason the position does not matter is I'm going to CNC cut a dowel pin location here and here, and that's what I'll use to align everything. So I've got the corners in. If those two, we're going to get the other 4 corners in, other 2 corners. All right. Table was clean. I had it all ready to go. Snug him down. Come back, snug this guy down. Did that. Yep, he's good. All right. There we go. And got the program entered. We're actually going to be machining the bottom side of this top piece first. That's where we're going to start. And here we go. Let's see if it works. It's gonna grab the 5-inch face mill. He's going to cut this down to All right, I'm going to check my thickness real quick here. Make sure I'm good to go. And brush that off a little bit. We're going to check it. Sorry, I had to step off screen to grab my calipers there. I'm shooting for 1.3 inches. I got 1.308 for wood. I'm pretty happy with that. Let me check over here. And that's 1.301. So so far so good. All right, I'm gonna get the 1/2-inch end mill going here, and this is gonna take a little bit, but I'll get you started. Alright, so we're going to let this run. It's going to take a little bit, and when this side is done, I'll bring the camera back on. Alright everybody, we've got the first half, the bottom half of the top piece. It is finished machining. I'm going to draw the camera in a little bit and you can see what's going on. So it's starting to look a little like something here. So you can see the profile here and the profile on this other side, and we've got this solid center core. 2 alignment pins when I clamshell it together. These here are also alignment when I clamshell it together. And these right here are when I flip the piece over. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you can see what this looks like. Really looking good. So you can really see these hollowed areas. I'll get a lot of this when I take it out of the machine. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to just take some sandpaper. I'm going to hit these edges because you don't want any of those burrs, those rolled edges where the material is rolled up to interfere on that surface. That was good. Gonna get a broom, brush him off a little bit, and then we're gonna do the same right here. All right, now, when you look at the table here, I got all kinds of different pins and holes. These guys right here are alignment top to bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and set those in. And we're gonna roll this guy. So he was sitting here like this. We're gonna roll him this way, and we're gonna position him on those pins. I can't see the pins very well, but they're there. All right, there's that one, and there we go. Now, that ain't going anywhere. He's sitting right there where he needs to be. And we're gonna try those. Yep, those will be good. Nope, need a little longer. Nope, need a little longer than that too. Might actually be a little too long. Yep. Throwing tools today. Alright, so we've got him bolted down pretty good. I think I like that. Yep, I always double check because you don't want this thing flying around. And we'll get the camera repositioned a little bit here. Okay. I think we're ready to give the top side a try. Alright, here we go. We're getting ready to start. Now, the first thing this is going to do right now, this material is 1.3 inches thick, and it's going to come in here with a 5-inch face mill, and it's going to cut it down to 1.25 inches. So it's going to take 50 thousandths off this top surface, and we're going to run this way. I'll show you guys that, and here we go. Very, very close, very, very precise. I'm happy with that. All right, let's keep going. Okay, actually Basically what it's doing here is it's drilling the holes for the trim rings that will be holding the humbuckers down. It starts that first, and the reason is that it's going to be a completely shaped surface, and when you spot holes, it looks really good when the surface is flat. You don't want that drill to wander. Double checking to make sure I didn't have an issue there. This is the first time running, and the machine is only as good as what you tell it, and at times I don't tell it the right stuff. I believe it's going to grab the 1/2 inch end mill. This is the tool that removes the vast majority of the material on the carved top. And we'll get it started and then I'll bring you back. This run. When it's done, I'll turn the camera back on. Alright everybody, we're back, and we've gotten both of these pieces off the CNC machine. This here is the top, so you can see all the features in it, and you can see how hollow it is. I've installed these pins. I did glue them in while the bottom half was machining, but you can see kind of the volume. And then the bottom piece, here's your outside, nice relieved area here. Should be able to really get your hand around this thing. Also notice this taper right here. That's where that set neck is going to kind of come and join in. And that there also is that 4-degree neck angle that I've built in. Holes here to receive this, and I tell you what, it's going to take me a little bit probably to get these lined up and glued and ready. I need to put my glasses on because my up front vision is just absolutely gone. Those go. I might have to work on these pins here a little bit. Yep, I'm going to round these little pins off just a little bit. Those holes are tight. Actually, I'm going to run this to the drill press real quick and just enlarge them just a little. Do this again, I'm going to make these holes here just a little bit bigger so that these slide on better. But that drill press work should have done the trick. Yeah. And so you can start seeing that this, yeah, I can definitely get him squeezed together. I'm not going to totally squeeze him yet until I get the glue together. But this has got significantly more volume now than my original design. I call this the flying saucer. It's just too thin. This is going to have a much more robust feel to it. It's arched here. I'm much happier with this than the first version. So anyway, we got to name this thing. I've been going back and forth on what to name it. What should I name it? A couple of names that we've mentioned, the wife and I have kicked around. We've talked about it being the Nobleman, mentioned the Duke. So I don't know if you've got a name for this thing. And I kind of stuck with the Nobleman because it reminds me of the Country Gentleman guitar, and obviously that name's taken. So I got to do something a little different. So Nobleman, if you want something different, leave me a note in the comments, or if you got a better idea, I'd certainly be interested. me get one long reach clamp. Get this right here in the middle. Definitely gonna have to rethink my clamping method. But for now, that's gonna do. So I'm looking here on the edges. I'm seeing pretty much glue squeeze out absolutely everywhere. So that's good. Definitely gonna be happy with that. All right. Let this dry and I'll get it out and we'll see what it looks like. Hang on. All right, everybody. Have this semi-hollow body design put together here, and you know, you saw it clamped up. I sanded it just a little bit, and you really get a good idea of what this thing is going to look like. You know, certainly it's got a ring to it. I'm happy. You can get a little bit of a side view and really kind of see how much profiling and curve there is to this guitar, to this body. So yeah, I'm happy with what it is so far. Just stay on for part 2, and we're gonna get ready to get the neck done. See you guys soon.